One of the Hammond House initiatives for 2021 is to explore how creative writing can cope with the loneliness and isolation of life in lockdown. Gillian Godden, an NHS key worker from Hull, has found a way to cope with the pressure of work through her writing. Tony Barker caught up with her earlier.
Basically, simple. My son went to university. The house was empty. I had nothing to do. I went to book clubs and they was running a competition. And the competition was basically, can anybody write a couple of chapters? And everybody was having a go. I had Norman, he was writing his life on racing pigeons. And there was Mary at the other side, she was showing us how to crochet. So I thought, what do I know? Well, I'm originally from London, originally from the East End, know all that kind of thing. So I thought I'd give it a go. And just before you asked, Norman rang. He won with all his, racing pigeons. I didn't. But my friends from the NHS, they encouraged me. They went, it's a good couple of chapters. Go for it. So I sort of followed it through and I did that. And my first book I wrote was Francesca. And I thought that was it. Because you never think anybody's going to read it. But so I basically did it from the female point of view by this girl who was a pole dancer. She's destitute, abandoned by her husband, left with a baby, does a bit of pole dancing, marries a saucy, very handsome gangland boss. And everything's sort of it's the fan and it's all good fun. And I never thought anybody would read it. And something like 20,000 people have read it. It's got over 200 reviews and everybody really enjoyed it. Then the readers got back to me and said, we would like to know more about this sexy gangland boss. So I thought, I'll give it a go. So I did a Star Wars, did a prequel. So I started from his childhood. Hey, if it's good enough for George Lucas, it's good enough for me. So basically, I just went backwards. And so I wrote Dangerous Games, which is your gangland boss as a child. Then I sort of went on to how he makes his fortune, builds his empire in the gangland racketeering world. And then it's sort of that met up with Francesca. And then I finished the series last year, basically, and wrote Dirty Dealings, which ends the 4-book series. And then everybody encouraged me. They really liked Julie and Ralph Gold, and they thought they're absolutely brilliant characters. So I've released Gold August. And I'm now working on the sequel to Gold.
Now, wait a minute. You've got 4 books here which are about gangland life in London. You as you said, you've got a background in London. But people who live in London won't necessarily know about gangland. So how did you start to turn yourself to knowing what your subject matter was and the sort of characters you'd find?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Tony. I'm from the East End, and I used to barmaid and waitress in the strip clubs, the stripper pubs. And we're not talking clubs, we're talking normal East End pubs that basically we were earning a lot of money, so they put a bit of entertainment value in there. And I used to barmaid the strip pubs, and so you'd meet all the dancers that came in, really nice girls, really a lot of fun, Obviously, with that in the East End, you got your guys coming in for their protection money, their gangland money, and you made these characters. These characters are there. It's not just Bob Hoskins and stuff. It's real people, and you're in that world and you see it, you hear it. By the time you put author's license to it and have a think about it, you can come up with a host of books.
Gillian's books are available from Amazon and all good online bookstores. Enjoy your lockdown reading and support the NHS.